Hello, this video will cover how to ask the right question as opposed to memorizing endless essential oil properties and their profiles and the need to rely on books, articles, and other people's opinions instead of your own knowledge. I guess even a few years ago, but definitely a couple of decades ago, this was the only way to go. Today we have much more information to work with, tools to work with, like DropSmart. So today I want to show you how to liberate your mind, how to find the oil that is really the best for you, your client, and the one that it is in your cupboard. So I would like to get right to it. And I will take for example stress. So if we type in stress in DropSmart, you will see that we have over 400 essential oils. So what does that mean? How does that help me? Still, how do I choose which one is the best one for me? So this is where I would like to encourage you to ask the right question. And that is why, for example, are all of these for stress? And better yet, if you followed the other videos, one of the things to do is to get very specific. So which type of stress are we talking about? Are we talking about a stress where you cannot fall asleep? For example, you had a stressful day, very intense, you're worrying about the meeting tomorrow and you cannot fall asleep. Or is it the kind of stress that is constant, that is building up, and you cannot wake up? So there's different things that you need. You might need an essential oil to refresh you during the day, or you might need an oil that will help you fall asleep, soothe those thoughts and help you fall asleep. Is it a physical stress that then reflects on your mental achievements as well? So getting very specific what it is that you need. Is it even more? Is it deeper than that? Is it depression? So asking questions and getting very specific answers. So how do we apply that to essential oils? As I said here, I have 400 very different oils. There is, even if you look at the colors, and now you know a little bit more what the colors are representing, you will see that there is really not much to connect the dots. So I chose 4 very different essential oils to compare the effect on stress, and we'll take a step by step so that you will see how this is very simple and you can choose the right oil for you in just a few clicks, and the one that you have, not necessarily the one that is recommended. Typically when we have a problem that we want to address with essential oils, we reach out for our favorite books, we reach out for our favorite authorities. I do this as well, but it's very time consuming. I need an answer right away. So let me show you how I do it now. I have all my favorite authors here in DropSmart, and here I took very different oils. I didn't take lavender, bergamot, neroli, the ones that we all know about. I took something like spearmint, palmarosa, spike lavender, and yuzu. So for citruses, we do know that will help us lift our mood, but yuzu is less, it's a bit rare. Palmarosa also, we might have used it for these purposes, but not as much as lavender or geranium or some other similar, what we think is a similar essential oil. And spearmint is not the first mint you're going to reach out for stress. So let me show you step by step how you can do this. When you put the oils in comparison, I really recommend this tool because it makes things easier. First of all, if we look at the chemistry, they are very different. And although these ketones may look similar to these ones, they're different ketones, and the same goes for these alcohols. So let's take a look. So first thing I want you to take a look at is the properties that we found in scientific research on each of these oils. And unfortunately, you will find that there is not much. Here it is anti-stress with yuzu, so that's very nice. We actually have scientific research done on yuzu that this would be a great oil for stress, and then you can go and read a little bit more about it on which kind of stress was this tested on. Next, the only thing I find here is sedative. That is something that might help me, for example, fall asleep and relax in that area. and that is with spike lavender. Quite unexpected actually for me, because there is quite a chunk of 1,8-cineol, and oils rich in 1,8-cineol, as you've been following now, are usually the ones to actually lift us up. Next application, if we go slowly, and I will go a bit slower than usual so that you can follow, we have for Palmarosa some authors and researchers suggesting to use Palmarosa as well as Yuzu. So if you feel anxiety, that kind of stress, perhaps these are the two oils for you. Later we can see why Palmarosa and Yuzu are possibly working on anxiety. Next, you can go through all the list and see what else you can use it for, but now I'm concentrating on things connected to stress. So one of that is fatigue. And as you see, Yuzu and spike lavender are recommended for fatigue. And this doesn't surprise me, because as I said, spike lavender does have a chunk of 1,8-cineol to give you a little bit more of that, spice and energy. And with the citruses, we all know that citruses refresh us, whereas Palmarosa and spearmint, you'll see by the chemistry, is more for calming down. So I am not surprised that fatigue is with spike lavender and Yuzu. Soon you'll be able to make conclusions like that as well. Next, I'd like to look at mood. All are recommended for uplifting different kind of moods and emotions. So do take a look if this might be then something to tell you which of the oils are perhaps best for your case. Relaxation for spike lavender, and then here it is again, sedation, stress, of course, and then as I said in DropSmart, we put a little bit more info if it was available to give you an idea what kind of stress. This reduces stress, for example. So we did add that for you. So not much actually, but still it tells me a little bit more where I will use spike lavender and Yuzu to lift me up a bit, to get rid of that fatigue, whereas other ones that were more sedative I might use for before sleep. Safety, of course, very important. That might make up your mind at the end, but what I really want to show you today is the chemistry. So here, up to here, you probably got familiar with this tool, but if you scroll down past the chemical components, you have properties of the chemical components. And let me tell you another trick. If you click Command F, you can search for things. So here I'm searching for sedative, for example. And as you see, all four of these have chemical constituents that have sedative properties. And this is the moment I really stress it might be interesting for you to note some of these down and then look for oils that have these chemical constituents that are sedative if this is something that you need. So for example, we have plenty of oils that have beta-myrcene, that have citronellol, that have geraniol, linalool, linyl acetate. We mentioned these already. So perhaps by searching for these chemical constituents, you can find far more options for example, sedative effect, because we do have research on very little essential oils. So for example, if you look at a typical book, you have anywhere between 50 to 100 essential oil profiles, but we have 500 or more essential oils available on the market. So you do need new tools, you do need new ways of finding the information that is relevant for you. And I strongly suggest this approach. It might be backwards for some of you, looking from the chemical constituents and what they give to you. How do they influence the dynamic of the essential oil, rather than memorizing by heart or looking up in books or other media on each specific essential oil. You would get far more information, far more depth and understanding how this works on you and your client if you look, well, I guess backwards or frontwards. So from chemical constituents up. So this is sedative, but we were looking for something that will, soothe the emotions. So let's take a look if it has anything antidepressant. So here we have a higher percentage. With spearmint, we have only 20, but still significant enough. Beta-pinene, did you think of that one, that it would actually work as an antidepressant? Limonene, linalool, not surprising, you already heard those. So here with Palmarosa, take a look at this, over 80% of chemical constituents that are antidepressant. And that explains a lot why we use Palmarosa in all sorts of emotional states. So with Palmarosa, the dominating component is geraniol. So typically when we see alcohol, we think monoterpene alcohol, the red portion of the pie charts in DropSmart, we are thinking of linalool. But there are many more, as you see, constituents, and in this case monoterpene alcohols, that have wonderful properties that you may use. And here when we look at spike lavender, it is linalool that is dominating and adding to this quite high percentage also of antidepressant action. And usually take a look, almost 80%, because of mainly limonene, but in combination of these other constituents as well. So do you see the dynamics? They all have antidepressant action, but because of different chemical constituents. So of course the expression is a little bit different, and little by little you will see how that adds up. So another thing I want to show you is anxiolytic. So here is anxiolytic action, and with Palmarosa it is a little bit less because it dominates geraniol, which doesn't have research on anxiolytic action. But look at this, how surprising. I wanted to show you spearmint because of this, because it has quite a large portion of carvone. And I never thought that this component would be anxiolytic. So we will then take this component and take a look. What other essential oils we never thought of using for emotional states are available there for us? So I will copy this right now so that we don't forget that, and I'll show you in a second. And then yuzu, very little anxiolytic action as well. So this is how I would approach it, how I suggest you approach it. You take a look at the oils that you have, then you search it in DropSmart, which ones are for stress, for example, or whatever it is that you are looking for. And then the next step would be, let's take a look at which oils have these specific chemical constituents that have the action that I'm looking for. So I'm very curious about this one, so let's do it together. We go back to the catalog, and I will erase stress, because as I said, only a small amount of essential oils that we have available actually have scientific research. A little bit more have been written about, but definitely not all 500. So that's why I want to, broaden your opportunities by taking a look at chemical constituents. So let's take a look at this one, carvone. Here it is. And I will take a look at oils that have over, let's say, 32%. Look at this. Very interesting essential oils. Who would have thought that caraway, for example, or dill seed will be something that will give me such an effect? So let's take a look at those. I'll open it in a different tab. So I have both of them. First, let's look at the seed. So if you are to look at research or something that has been written on this in books, you would pretty much be stuck with just using it as a repellent or perhaps some intestinal spasms, and that is about it, what you will find out there. But if you dare to scroll down to the detailed report and don't even bother with the chemistry, just look at the properties that we collected for you. So 3 clicks, you will see how many more options you have for this oil. So let's concentrate on emotional distress and stress in general. So here, if we take a look, of course it can be great for, repelling and pain and things like that. That is usually to be expected. But here we have over 50% anxiolytic because of carvone mainly. So it is such an interesting option for us to work with that. Look, not only anxiolytic, but antidepressant action as well, because it has such an interesting chemistry on the monoterpene side. It is a very beautiful combination of carbon plus limonene. Of course, we have these other ones, but look, limonene 40%, which will give it the antidepressant action, and on the other side, 52% of carbon, which will give us anxiolytic. Isn't that such a wonderful combination for you to go and try out? If we take a look at safety recommendations, it's also quite a safe oil to use. So this way you can be far more authentic, far more creative, you know, and also use those oils that are oxidating, perhaps in your cupboard or in your shelves, fridge, wherever it is that you're keeping them. This way you will have an impact, a positive impact on the environment, because you will be using the oils that you actually have and not needing to, you know, always reach out for something that somebody else is recommending. You can use this with confidence. You have all the references that you need. You click on it, you know, you can go and read the article. You can, with confidence, recommend this to your clients, superiors, whatever. Whether you're writing an article, this could be a great, interesting theme, or perhaps you don't know how to sell your dill seed to anybody. You have a huge amount of them and nobody's buying. Write an article about this, you know. So this will give you such more creativity. It will also save you time and money, because, as I said, you will be using what is that you have. Regarding time, we usually take a look at several recipes, several essential oils, you know, several different various different authors, what they're saying, and with Dropsmart you can really do this in a few clicks. And in the next video I will show you how you can quickly make a few blends and then choose the best blend for you or your client before you even blend it and waste the oil. So I hope this is useful, and I hope you're gonna go and check it out yourself and see, you know, all the oils that you haven't used before. Get free with it, safe and creative. Let me know how you enjoyed this video, and see you soon.